Kingdom. Let's talk about the Kingdom meta.
It's actually, I know a lot of people hate on it.
It's my least favorite cup.
I like it.
Well, it's at least my least favorite cup going through it.
Yeah, I liked it in the first iteration because, you know, it seemed like very Bastion central. Certainly Lucario is a mandatory pick, I think, in Kingdom, but Bronzong was like such a sleeper pick in the beginning.
Yeah, I would actually.
And then Alola Marowak, too.
I would actually argue that Bronzong is the best Pokemon in Kingdom.
Oh, yeah, now.
Now it is, right?
Yeah.
It's the safest swap. There's no Pokemon. Okay, so I know Caleb right now is not running a Bronzong. Okay. Very spicy moveset. I would not be surprised if Caleb ran this. Okay. What do you think of this? Fire spin on Blaziken.
Still loses to Bronzong.
It still loses Bronzong, but it'll be able to perhaps chip away
Does
a little
better.
bit more damage.
I'm not sure
Fire
why,
spin. I'm not sure why you would
is
run
less
it.
energy gain
Yes.
than counter. Overall, across the board, a worse move. And you're going to get to Blast Burn less amount of time.
Do you need a Blast Burn
But
to
if
KO?
you have Blaze Kick to pair it up.
Yeah, if you go Fire Spin, Blaze Kick, is that enough to KO no shield? Shield's down.
The problem is the allure of Blaziken is being able to take out Bastion and Lucario.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And so without that,
yeah, absolutely.
That's definitely spicy. Yeah.
Spicy pick, right?
You wouldn't switch in a
you would
Bastion.
say even a fire pick.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Spin you on your head.
I can't get on board on that one. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're going Bella versus OK then too. Let's take a look at how they're gonna lead. So really interesting.
Leading Bastion on here is interesting too.
But the thing is, people love to lead Altaria.
They do, don't they? Altaria's. Oh well, you just said it, and sure enough, he switched to Altaria.
But the thing is, like,
minute.
Ice Shard or Water Gun on Lapras?
Ice Shard for the energy gain is pretty huge.
And for Dragons, but a worse matchup against Bastodon.
Yeah.
And worse matchup against Charizard.
That's the biggest thing, is that Water Gun aggregate damage plus a surf. Lucario's going to surf a shield a surf no matter what, right? And so that neutral damage, Lucario doesn't want to be taking it. But that Water Gun aggregate damage certainly puts it ahead a little bit in that Lucario matchup.
So Bella perhaps going for that safe switch Bronzong. I don't know, how safe of a switch is it against Lapras? Let's see. If it's an Ice Shard Lapras, safer switch?
Yeah, no, Bronzong is a great switch against Lapras, but
it is Water Gun.
Water Gun. So Water Gun is a pretty even matchup against Altaria. We've seen a little bit of a style change here in these Lapras. It's favored to
do you
run
have to
Ice
land the
Beam.
bait, or can you double?
I am, it's been a while, but I think that Ice Beam can come out twice and still win against Altaria. But he does go for the switch.
This is
Lucario charging up to the Shadow Ball and going for the Power Up Punch instead. He knows that if he doesn't shield this, it's going to be really big.
He's going to be able to land 2 Power Up Punches.
Yes. So at this point, it really comes down to break points. If that Bronzong meets the right break point against the Lucario with his attack and confusion, he's going to be able to come out ahead. But if not, it also, it's just a very, very close matchup. So Power Up Punch.
This is going to be very close.
It's going to be super close.
This is double boosted counters and Power Punch. I think he's going to be able to take out this.
Yeah, he's going to be able to just barely take it out.
And he's going to maintain switch advantage.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think it's either the defense, it's definitely an attack break point that does a little bit more on that Lucario. And, if they're counter switching and stuff, that goes a little bit out the window.
Yeah,
but
you kind of have to Power Up Punch or you're going to faint down.
Yeah.
And this Power Up Punch, though, resisted is 3 times power. Unfortunately, not able to get the excellent.
It's something. It's definitely something. Altaria is definitely a solid counter to Lucario. As far as Lucario's counter goes.
Water Gun Lapras. Oh man, is that?
He does go for the Altaria mirror.
The thing is, like, do you
with
shield?
A lot of energy though.
Do you shield? I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, you're worried about that Lapras switching in and Ice Beaming right away.
He's lucky he shielded because he did miss a couple bubbles there. So.
Oh, he's too slow in the switch.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if I would have shielded there. It's like a really tough decision.
He does take out the Altaria. He's charging up to that Surf. Bronzong here can just feint it out most likely. It's going to be super close. Oh, he's able to get to that Surf in time. He's able to get that Surf. Surf is going to do a decent amount of neutral damage against this Bronzong. Bronzong's still going to be able to tank it, and he's just able to farm up as much of this Lapras as possible. He's got Psyshock ready to go. He's at a shield disadvantage, and out comes his Altaria.
This is actually a little closer.
And
he wants a double.
He got greedy.
He could have. What the heck?
Yeah, he should have. Yeah, he should have gone for the Psyshock immediately. That's a really high risk play.
I think Bella's trying to double.
He was trying to piggyback off himself.
He doesn't realize that perhaps didn't realize the confusion was doing so much damage.
That's true.
Against Altaria.
Yeah.
It was his match to win.
Yeah. That was really close though.
And the thing is, he played pretty well to come from behind in that particular situation.
Yeah.
Man, what do you do when you've potentially like let a match go that you should have won?
You just let it get to your head. You get super stressed, and then you toss the next game. Right? That's the higher level strat right there.
All right. So
no, all these guys.
That's why we're here and they're there.
Yeah. All these guys, they're top level players. They're gonna be able to keep those nerves in check.
Yeah.
Certainly Bella is one of those people. You know what? I actually seen Bella lose the first game a lot, and then come out with two in a row.
Yeah, I think one of
he
his
does that quite
yeah,
often,
yeah.
and it's almost like the opposing player lets that get to their head, and Bella's just very, very, very consistent player. So being one match down is not.
Oh man! So if they lock in right now, it's going to be a really tough matchup for Bella. That Lucario is going to do a lot of damage, but
there's some heated debate on whether he had that match or not in the chat. So, we do have Altaria.
Oh, did he have a shield or? I don't
well, yeah.
Anyways.
In any case, Altaria. That is behind us now. Altaria versus Altaria in the lead. We've seen this matchup play often. We're going to try to get to that Sky Attack as soon as possible. And normally they go for opt for the shield here. You just want to be in a good lead situation. He goes.
Bella. What Bella is considering. This is so risky, on his side, is potentially farming down that Altaria with Bastodon.
Oh.
Right. That's what he's gaming for. But the thing is that.
But he's not going to be at that much HP anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what happens when Lucario comes out?
Yep.
And here comes Lucario, and he does not have an answer for
it's
Lucario.
Over.
Oh
no, he goes to Lapras. That's interesting. He was maybe expecting he had a Bronzong or something in the back, and he didn't want to waste a Lucario against a Bastodon.
Oh yeah.
But Stone Edge is definitely within knockout. Oh, he's missing. He's either missing a few on purpose. I don't think those were on purpose, but it doesn't really matter. He is able to feint out
Lucario,
that.
Though. But
he's thinking about switching, and so Lucario does come out. This is rough because
it is very rough.
Power up punch ready to go.
He's basically
energy and shield advantage. Lucario, this is its bread and butter, is taking down Lapras and Bastodon. Power up punch is going to come out, and it is shielded by Lapras. This is the least damaging power up punch that Lucario will have, and he had to use the shield. He's going to use the shield again, using up both shields.
And this is
against this.
I know Bella's really good, but man, I can't see a win for him.
This is really rough. This is really, really rough. He does have to use the shield against this Lapras to not run out with this Surf. And I don't think Bastodon had enough energy fully for a flamethrower, and it's going to faint as soon as this power-up punch.
Yeah, it's done.
That's it.
Yeah, man, it is very risky to lead with your Lucario. Counter, let it faint down.
Yeah. And not shield that matchup. But honestly, not shielding. If he had shielded and they would have just ended up even, it would have probably been the same result, right? Because that Lucario has such a great matchup against Lapras and Bastodon. He's able to farm him up, and then you spam those power up punches in the later matches. It's really tough to come back.
That was a rough lineup to try to deal with. When you almost for sure people are going to bring Lucario in their line of 3. It's so powerful.
It's very common, yeah. And you're banking on a lot for it to not come out. So Yeah, I misspoke there. Shield advantage. They were.
Well, they had the Lucario.
Yeah.
The Lucario counter
But
was Altaria, but letting the Altaria feint down,
yeah,
you were probably a little bit better off switching to Lapras, baiting out the Lucario, doing a lot
and
of
then
damage.
that Bastion has a little bit more play later down the road.
Yeah, he might have been able to pull it off because if he would have sacked his Lapras, bait out the Lucario, burned one shield on the Lucario at least, and then
Take it out with Altaria.
take it with Altaria, and then you have Altaria versus what do you have in the back? Lapras.
Yeah.
Lapras, Altaria, Bastiodon versus Lapras.
Yeah. Oh, that's all hindsight here.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but it looks like we are setting up to interview
Okay,
then.
Well, let's
It'll
turn
be
over to Miss Mystic and
any minute now when we get the signal. But yeah, so
So I'm here with Rob. Where are you from, Rob?
Annapolis, Maryland.
Very cool. Did you have a good drive out?
It was like 2.5 hours. It was okay.
So tell me a little bit about Ghost Stadium's remote tournaments.
Yeah, so Ghost Stadium is a really large organization of players all around the world, and it's organized in various lobbies. And the lobby I happen to be in has some of the top players in the world. I can't make it out to a lot of local tournaments, so it's fantastic for me because I can do remote tournaments and still pit myself against high-level players. So it's a great resource for somebody who maybe can't always make it out to their locals.
So have you found that your ranks have increased due to the remote tournament?
Almost solely because of the remote tournaments. I've weighted my remote tournaments, so and then I swept a couple of them, so it heavily boosts your ranking when you do that.
Very nice. And back to you guys.
So you heard it there from OK then too, talking about his remote battles. I mean, excellent player. The fact that Ghost Stadium offers that opportunity for people that aren't able to go to these local tournaments as much, it's really awesome.
I really love local tournaments, but I think these online or remote tournaments give a tremendous opportunities and a lot of flexibility to players that can't make it out there. And
The local tournaments, it's a totally different experience for sure, and it's not one that if you can choose between the two, definitely local tournaments are just a lot more fun. But the opportunity, having that opportunity of remote is
for
really
sure,
nice.
especially if you work weekends. Or you work evenings, it becomes really challenging to make local tournaments. So, great players being able to excel and present them on this great stage is something that I really welcome.
Sure.
Okay, so who do we have up for the next matchup?
I'm not seeing any of our players getting ready to sit down yet, so they might just be concluding a couple matches there in the background. And we are getting the word in. Very soon we'll be able to get that bracket. But up until now, I mean, Lucario has just been an all-star in this, and that's to be expected in Kingdom.
I think I personally didn't like Kingdom Cup the first time it came around, but I think two things that it really highlighted was how great Bastiodon was, and then how great Lucario was. More so Bastiodon in the greater
in the greater scheme of things, Bastiodon, but Bastiodon and Lapras, mind you, but having that Lucario as such a hard counter to both of them definitely keeps them in check. Lucario, on the other hand, I don't think anything totally walls it, right? Because that Shadow Ball hits for neutral pretty much everything.
Absolutely.
And so a boosted Shadow Ball against, you name it, Altaria, Skarmory, pretty much anything.
There's nothing, there's no safe matchup.
Yeah.
Right? Whenever you have a Lucario and you have a chance to do a lot of damage or potentially win the matchup.
And it's funny about it is that even a low HP Lucario, because it's gotten that boost, can just chonk away against a fresh match Lucario so much that like even having the same Lucario against each other, is an iffy match too.
Yeah, and I've seen some really interesting play when it comes to Kingdom, but I think we're gonna have some really interesting matchups in this next round.
And it
we're
looks
gonna-
like Mason ValorAsh will be playing against Cody KLTD. Wow.
So, rematch of their first boulder. Now they've gone and played in the rocks. Now they're at the Kingdom. So, let's see how these two decide to play it out. Two players that are very familiar with each other. They've certainly had their eyes on each other for a while.
Now, see, Alolan Marowak normally being such a great switch against Bronzong is not pulling as much weight against this team as before, right? Because Steelix is a pretty decent answer against Alolan Marowak, and he's got other picks. I don't expect to see Alolan Marowak against this particular team.
Oh, you don't think so? Even though he's rocking double fighter.
Yeah, it's just that Bronzong does really well against that Blaziken matchup. So I don't know that Alolan Marowak is the right choice for Cody here on the left. Mason did lock in with a Lucario Bastion Steelix team, I believe.
Yes.
And then so we're going to be seeing what he brings. So Lucario using that Bronzong in as a safe switch, although you don't want to be safe switching a Bronzong when he has Steelix there in the chamber. So Altaria, favorable matchup for Cody. Again, though, it's one of those matchups.
He's going to safe switch to Bronzong.
Yeah, and so looks like Mason here has a Steelix ready to go, and nothing in Bronzong's arsenal other than Bulldoze.
And Bulldoze is not a great move, and
yeah.
there's no stab on Bulldoze.
It's mostly just shoring up matches that you would normally lose anyway, but
But
it
this
certainly
is
does
a
a lot
lot
of
of
damage
damage.
against Steelix.
And
So landing that Bulldoze
he
is
needs
huge.
to land the. Well, he's going to bait the Crunch. Let's see if he shields or not.
Well, Crunch does a lot of damage too.
But it wouldn't KO.
Yeah, it wouldn't KO.
That's why he's baiting up to the.
Yeah, and getting 2 crunches in is going to be nice.
And then let's see if he decides to let this.
I don't think Psyshock.
It doesn't, but he went up to Bulldoze.
Yeah.
So, but he's gonna be able to land the second. Okay, let's see, man. They're both shield baiting like crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if Crunch is within knockout range.
I don't think it is. Let's see
very
if Cody.
close.
Man, it's such a gutsy call. Oh man, but he's gonna try to feint down this. But it's gonna be too risky to try to feint down because he's gonna be able to land a second
So
crunch.
he gets the second crunch in. Bronzong no shields. He really committed to this match. It's going to be super close. And
Oh.
Bronzong barely able to hang on, and he gets to that Psyshock. Is he going to be able to yeah, he's definitely going to be able to knock out, and it's just a matter of whether Steelix wants
Oh,
to
he
commit
chose
to
the
this
shield.
matchup.
He chose the shield.
He chose the shield. He wants the lead. He favors the lead over, losing the Steelix with a little bit of HP. It's rough, right?
And
'Cause
I
he
think he
wants that
understands-
Lucario to be paired up against.
I think he understood, but oh, man,
Yeah,
he understands that. Man, that's
this is rough.
a rough
But
situation.
he wants that Altaria to be paired up against Lucario. So the Sky Attack comes out immediately. It's going to do a ton of damage against Lucario. Obviously, shields are down at this point. It could be
And
any. Just winning that lead was pretty huge. He does switch for the enemy Altaria. Altaria now going for the Dragon Pulse. At this point, Dragon Pulse is the better
this
move
is
with
gonna-
stab and super effectiveness against the Altaria. It's going to do a ton of damage. And he still has Lucario ready to go. So this is going to be kind of rough. You kind of almost want to win this because you deplete his energy. He's got Lucario ready to go in the back. He's going to be
And he has
probably
a
able to
power-up
feint
punch.
out this Altaria and have a power-up ready to go for the next. It's going to still be really close.
I don't think this is enough to KO.
Yeah.
If he had a Shadow Ball ready, then sure. But this is.
I don't think he's got 2. But you see what I
Oh!
mean? It's like so
It's
close.
so close.
Yeah.
He needed
Super.
that Shadow Ball to bank it, but
That's amazing.
he played the.
I think that was the right play in the lead, just ensuring you had that matchup.
Yeah. That was a tough call, right? It paid off for ValorAsh, doing a shield on basically a no health Steelix, but it was really risky.
Yeah, for sure. Be interesting to see how they adapt, if they even choose to adapt. Looks like Mason is going for... oh, he's just evaluating the team here. Double checking, seeing what the opponent has to offer.
I think they're
here.
both checking at this point in time.
Yeah, they're both just top tier players. Looks like Mason is not gonna
I think they're locking.
budge. They're gonna stay with the same strategy here. This is
How do you adapt though?
I don't know. I think
Well, the thing is, like, one shield bait guess correct on Cody's side or ValorAsh's side could really swing the match.
but it's very risky, right? Crunch is still gonna do a lot of super effective against Bronzong, and so yeah, if he lands the bulldoze, it's gonna be huge. And so he charges up to the earthquake. It looks like, and he's going for the
He's going for the bulldoze.
bulldoze immediately.
And no
Steelix
shield.
doesn't go for the shield. He's played this out. I guess he knows he can tank a bulldoze. He can't tank two.
Man,
This is
let's see what Mason does.
Really
he hasn't.
thinking
He hasn't
close.
shown. He has not shown earthquake yet.
he hasn't, but it's kind of assumed. Like Steelix most of the time is going to be running earthquake as opposed to heavy slam, and he does get the shield in. And Psyshock is going to come out. You know, at this point, Steelix is definitely going to shield. He missed a couple bubbles. Not going to matter anyway. Steelix going for that shield. Going for the crunch again, most
Let's
likely.
see.
Yeah, he goes for the crunch. We'll see if Bronzong shields this. And he doesn't. He doesn't shield. So we're basically replaying the previous match. Steelix certainly can't tank another Psyshock, but he's able to get to the crunch beforehand. And
The
he
thing
goes,
is here,
he forgoes the shield.
This Steelix has a little bit more health. This Lucario is going to be able to farm up a little bit more.
Just like maybe 1 or 2 counters, right?
Oh, he came. Oh,
He decides to.
he understands that he's playing the same matchup. But this Altaria, I think, has more energy than.
Yeah, so this is interesting. The Mason's Altaria has more energy. He's charging up to the Dragon Pulse and probably going for the Sky Attack. And so, sure enough, he does go for the Sky Attack, and Cody goes for the shield. And if he's able to get to that Dragon Pulse, he's going to knock out that Altaria.
But
Have
shields are
Lucario
still
ready to go with a lot of
up.
energy.
Man, yeah.
And so here, not shielding would be very much throttling that Altaria. So he does go for the
So
shield.
there's a couple considerations.
Oh, he's going to be able to knock out with... yeah, he's going to be able to knock out with Altaria.
the thing is,
now,
but Mason
Lucario has going to have a lot of
he
energy.
Mason should immediately switch to Lucario, because if he doesn't,
He's going to. I can't imagine Mason doesn't. Oh, I see. He's going to try to get that Sky Attack.
okay.
This is rough. Because now, even though Lucario has a lot of...
This might end up in a.
he's lost a lot of HP.
No, I think he's lost too much HP. This
He's got
Lucario-
energy, and he's got a boosted power-up punch. So
But
if
this
he's able
Lucario-
to get to that power punch before, he's definitely going to knock this out. And sure enough,
Oh man.
wow. Mason's barely able to get to that win. I thought for sure if he hadn't overtapped, he would have been able to get that power punch.
Yeah. Wow.
Close matches. These Lucario versus Lucario, it's always like so close.
I'm surprised Mason didn't. He ended up winning the match, but
Yeah.
I'm surprised he just didn't immediately switch.
Yeah. It was very close. It was a gamble for sure.
Yeah.
But then having that Altaria ready,
because if he would have, man, I don't know, because he didn't end up. I don't know.
what do you guys think? Should he have switched immediately to that Lucario? As opposed to riding it out a little bit more with Altaria. Here we are criticizing that play, but he won anyway. So, but at the same time, I'm pretty certain that had Cody not overtapped there, he would have.
Yeah, man. But then you're like.
Oh no, I'm not.
The health of yeah, no, for
yeah,
sure.
no, I'm just when we get to these upper level strats, we have to like point out certain things.
Yeah,
just
for
to-
sure.
For the
Then they
viewer's
should.
sake.
They
But
should
it's
know.
not at all bashing these
Yeah.
players. They're amazing.
Just
top
counting,
level.
but man, oh man.
Yeah. So who do we have next? Looks like that's just the. Oh, we're still waiting on the
Okay,
matchups.
So
It
we're
looks
gonna
like
be waiting for the winner of ValorAsh and OK, then 2 and Toshi. But then ValorAsh racking up the wins right early on and being very consistent.
Getting
but
another win here would be huge.
yeah, it would put him like pretty far ahead.
Pretty comfortably far ahead, yeah.
But you know, you can't.
And Bella kind of needed this win, I think, for
Mhm.
either this one or the next tournament. He kind of needed to rack up a tournament win would have been solid. And that extra point really comes in. Is it 1 or 2 points for winning a tournament?
1 point.
1 point, right? So 2 points per match, an extra point for winning the tournament.
Yeah, but basically when you win a tournament, you're 3 points ahead of
Sure.
everyone else. So it really not impacts your points, but also impacts your opponent's points. So, but man,
And so
how
these matches are currently being played out. Not a great day for Craig here. I'm rooting for you, buddy.
oh, man, he's gonna come through.
I want you to come through. I want you to come and like sweep 2 tournaments. You know,
yeah, but, man,
something like that. It's just
Last
it's
4?
amazing to watch.
that's 4, right?
But it's tough. The competition is so fierce here.
Yeah, no, I
So
wouldn't.
coming in and
I wouldn't even pick up a single match against these guys. So let's.
you don't think so?
No, I could
I
pick
think
up.
you're
I could
being
pick
a
up.
little-
I could pick
I
up
think
1
you're
or
being
2,
a little humble
but I would certainly be discouraged at some
Right.
point in time. But these players play at the highest level, and we're seeing some really quality matches today.
For sure. Yeah. And a lot of them are so good at counting and just just knowing the exact amount of energy management.
Yeah.
These are top players, right?
I love the one thing I really like about playing these cuts back to back. You can really see the contrast of play.
yeah.
Like you can see like how quickly Pokemon faint in Kingdom when Lucario is on the play and it's super effective against something, versus like you see in the lead matchup being like fairly important, but you can certainly overcome it. And in Twilight, you might not have a single answer for these Pokemon, for a Pokemon in the back, and end up losing.
Yeah. Yeah, Bastiodon was a very popular pick first time around and now as well. I opted in my first tournament to go for Steelix instead.
Mhm.
And having, instead of that ball, I suppose instead of the ball core, I went for the Sol
Yeah.
with Alolan Marowak and
Yeah.
Bronzong. So
Mhm.
that was kind of nice. The huge advantage that Steelix has is that it beats Bastiodon so squarely, because
Yeah.
it resists all of its moves so well. And even though Crunch doesn't do a whole lot, Earthquake just absolutely obliterates
nukes, yeah.
Bastion. So
And Earthquake, a Lucario, it's GG even at full health.
yeah, absolutely.
While Lucario at full health can
take a flamethrower.
Can take a flamethrower, right?
Not
So,
comfortably.
yeah, it
but,
doesn't
yeah.
love it, but certainly not its friend, but not its ultimate foe. Let's see what the chat's saying. Who's on top? Jay Devon only cares about winners. Right? Right now, ValorAsh is on top by 2 points over Housestark,
I think so.
and then 4 points over like 2 or 3 players.
Sure. And so we're still playing up those matches, you guys. ValorAsh was able to secure the win with Boulder. And if he comes out with a second tournament win, he'll be the first one
It'll be huge. It'll
so
put
far
him,
to do that today.
it would put him at least 5 points ahead of the next competition.
Yeah.
And considering Housestark already lost 1 match, it would likely put him 5 points ahead, or 7 points ahead of everyone else. So.
Right. And, yeah, I mean, the other thing about Mason is that his favorite metas are still yet to be played, I think.
Which ones are those?
I think regionals is his favorite.
I think regionals
This is a lot of people's
favorite,
favorite, but I think I remember him saying he's okay with Nightmare. I know a lot of people hate on Nightmare a lot,
yeah.
but he doesn't like Twilight that much, and that's behind him.
How does he? He probably likes Rainbow. He has some interesting.
Yeah.
The thing is, like,
People have caught on to his strategy at this
right,
point. Though.
so see how to play it out, and plus there's Skull Bash Lappers.
That's true.
Now that plays into a little bit more of a
How much does Skull Bash Lapras adjust the
a lot.
Rainbow meta?
A lot. I think it's probably the best Pokemon in Rainbow.
Really? Interesting.
And it's going to force people to bring more Poliwrath, which does favor Air/Wing attack Charizard a little bit more, because now it can deal super effective damage with a fast move. But again, we still have that up ahead, and we still have Jungle and then Regionals. So I think Regionals is
So you would favor Air Slash over Wing Attack, Legacy Wing Attack, even though Wing Attack has a little bit more energy.
well. I think
gain?
that blast burn damage
Yeah, that's true.
right? Like, well, without the self piggybacking, it does make air slash a little bit less viable. I don't know. Did wing attack rely on this? On
The biggest strategy with that wing
not self
attack
piggyback.
was
Piggyback.
the Quagsire counter switch, and so he knew he was able to win.
But does he rely on piggybacking to win that matchup?
I don't remember that. I don't remember whether he
I-
relied on piggybacking specifically, but he was able to get to that second. What was it? He was able to get more Dragon Claws or
Yeah,
Flamethrower. For whatever it was, that wing attack did just a little bit more energy gain than like Fire Spin, and so that was enough to secure the matchup.
Yeah.
against
Plus
him.
it's neutral damage, right?
Sure.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
so that's gonna add up with the Dragon Claws. 'Cause Dragon Claw, not a great move. It's just a cheap energy move. So, ValorAsh, take my energy.
People trying to do handshakes in the chat.
Okay. All right. I mean, like,
I suppose it's self handshake.
you should do those in person.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna get hated on.
Can you do them remote? I didn't even know you could do them remotely.
Yeah, you can. In theory, like if I just said my handshake number,
Yeah.
then a lot of people could.
You just go on Reddit and just
Yeah.
here's a handshake from King, and then boom.
Yeah.
Or Twitter.
Yeah, I think during Dortmund, they had an MC, and we were on the mics, and they couldn't necessarily hear us on the MC. But what ended up happening was that people heard it faintly in the background and just replayed it, and then some people heard my handshake code. So,
Oh wow.
So,
So it just blew up. Is that why your handshake you put the little network thing? And it's
no,
all just, like,
no,
convoluted lines.
no. Well, we go to a lot of different places, so
Yeah.
but it's cool to see who you've met and when. Okay, I'm okay for right now.
Oh well, come
We're
on up.
just rocking and rolling. Okay. Okay, no problem. Okay. Okay. First off, thank you for the food.
Yeah, thank you so much.
What's your name?
Come on up.
Come on in. Smells delicious. Oh. Okay. Oh, perfect.
Do we have a microphone for Shannon? Thank you so much. I was hungry, but I wasn't trying not to complain so much. But now we get to brag a little bit in the chat. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, for Nerd Street Gamers, which we're helping you host this event, I'm the controller for the whole company. Yes, and they also know I own a catering company, so they often kind of incorporate my food into events where people ask for it. So that's what I'm doing here today.
I'm actually an accountant by trade.
Are you?
So
So
we can talk.
you
all
know
about
exactly
the
what I'm
books
talking
afterwards
about.
And,
yeah, yeah.
And so how long have you been owned this catering business?
My company's been open since 2009. We're out of New Jersey, in a small town near Cherry Hill, but we're primarily a catering company. We do a lot of mobile food vending as well.
Okay, very nice. And
Yeah.
what's the best part of
The
catering?
best part, I get to meet a lot of people,
Okay.
and I like meeting people and connecting and networking. And one of our photographers here today, I met on a mobile food job recently, and getting him involved in the esports industry and
and
getting his name out there.
And being an insider on the esports venue and esports space, what do you think of esports in general?
I think it's super neat. I am older than almost everyone here. My kids are in their 20s and always played games. I played games before Atari was even invented. But it's so exciting. I had no idea what this industry was even like. When they hired me, it was like, what am I doing? Who am I working for? What do we do?
Do your kids play?
Yes,
They do.
all my kids
They might
play.
be watching, actually.
They could be,
Yeah.
but probably being embarrassed by me right now.
No,
But,
they're probably like,
I'm sure they're super proud of you.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
bring them here sometimes to the some of our championship with the fighting games and all that kind of stuff. So they like it. I mean, it's so different than being at home. Seeing this, what you guys do, and seeing, how exciting and how many people compete. You just don't even realize it goes on.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't hungry before. Now that the food's
When
in
I
front
saw
of
it,
me,
I
and
smelled
start
it.
smelling it. Oh,
Did you
man,
smell it before
yeah.
you saw
Smell
it?
it.
Yeah, it was kind of very.
I didn't want to say
distracting,
anything because, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, everyone wants me to show you my slogan.
Oh yeah, your
okay,
slogan,
okay. What
please.
Does it say? What
Can
does
you
it say?
see it?
Can you see it?
Okay.
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 I'll read it out.
Okay.
We want to put our meat where your mouth is.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
anybody with a slogan like that and who feeds me deserves a hug. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
That's very interesting saying. So I
Yeah,
like it.
thank you. You know, it's funny. Gets people
Yeah,
asking about my company all the time.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
you know, and for us, really, there's no event that's too small or too big. You know, we feed the Pen Apps guys for their frag events, 1,300 people per
Wow.
meal, you know, or a family. It doesn't matter.
That's amazing.
You know, so we like to keep our business on the smaller side and just have a lot of repeat business, to be honest. So
That's the best way to
More
approach it.
of a relationship and a rapport.
absolutely,
As well.
you know, I do a birthday graduation, I do a wedding, a bridal shower, then the baby shower, then the first birthday. That's how we work it. So, yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you
very
so much.
Thank
this is
you.
I didn't know how much I wanted this until I saw
Yeah,
it.
and
They're
try
fine.
Well, if you
smelling
get,
it.
I can
Oh,
either
man.
bring you a plate or you can. We have a lot of choices up there.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We're probably gearing up to do a break soon.
Yeah. If we
And
have
so-
someone that can take the mic, maybe maybe we can get the two Johns. Can we double up, John? Can we J Farm John, double Johns?
J Farm John.
Double John.
Double Johns.
Well,
while we
thank
take
you
a break,
guys.
we're gonna put two very important part of the people in the community, J.R. Honda and John Formakis, to come take on the mic and talk to you guys while we grab a quick bite to eat
Yeah.
and
I'm about to get as much energy as possible and be able to farm this up as much.
but
Thank you guys.
Alrighty. Hey. Miss Mystic, what's
Hi.
up?
Not much. How are you?
Good, good. How do you think of this tournament so far?
Oh, it's pretty intense. It seems like everybody's starting to get a little exhausted.
Yeah, it's very long, but it's definitely competitive. We have ValorAsh, Housestark, Toshi. Man, everybody's being super competitive. But these guys are all friends and they all practice with each other. So this is basically what happens on a daily basis, but this time we have it on the big screen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So how do you feel about the whole venue and everything?
Oh man, the venue is pretty impressive. Local host, they definitely have their act together. I'm very impressed by their production team. They've definitely gone over above and beyond what I was
Above
expecting.
and beyond is right. Actually, I personally had the privilege to actually battle some of these guys last night.
Yes, you told me. Yes.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Going a little bit more into that, there was a Tempest Cup tournament that was actually happening during that time, and I didn't even know we were even going there. And King's like, yeah, we're going to a Tempest Cup. And I was like, oh. I'm like, oh, okay. And then they had a certain amount of people, but they needed one more person to be able to make it an extra round. And I was like standing there with the camera in my hand, and I was like, why is everybody looking at me? I'm like, okay, cool. So fine, I'll register. So I had like a whole 2-3 minutes to be able to put a team together on. Sorry?
Perfect.
I'm so sorry?
It sounds like King is coming
What's that?
back to do the final.
You're coming back on? Yeah. We'll get back to my story after.
Oh yeah, of course.
we're back on. They kind of tricked us in telling us that we were going to get food, but I was actually willing to do all 8 cups without a break. Then they put food in front of us and a very nice lady talking about
Bait. That was a bait right there.
Yeah, we got shield baited.
we
there.
we got shield baited so hard. We saw that
I put
food.
both shields down
I
for
did.
that, and then they just
Man, I was just so ready to
then they
just
zap cannoned
chow
us.
down.
They
for
zap
sure.
cannoned us, and but no rest for the weary, and we have who do we have up? We have ValorAsh.
Yeah, so ValorAsh is waiting on his matchup. We had a few replays in the background there of the non-stream matches, and so that's what's taking a little bit longer. He's just waiting on his final competitor to decide who takes the gold here for the Kingdom tournament, right? It's definitely, we said, it'd be putting Mason in a really, really good spot moving forward. But once we get the results for whoever wins.
Who was it? Who was the...
Man, for me to remember, like who won the
okay,
previous brackets and stuff, we just have to bring that up whenever we can. But right now, the status is we're just waiting on Mason to get his last competitor, and then we'll be able to wrap up Tempest, or Kingdom rather, with a bow here.
Yeah,
okay. We'll see. So looks like okay then and Toshi. Once we decide the victor of that, we'll be able to move on to round 3 on stream, and you know, be able to see who takes the win, either ValorAsh, okay then, or Toshi, depending on who wins. Who won that bracket number 6 pairing?
Do you think?
So it'll be okay then and ValorAsh.
Okay then.
Just okay then. Yeah.
And ValorAsh.
Yeah. So wrap this up so we can. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Have a great and competitive match, you two. Obviously, you can't hear us on the mic, so I don't know why I am talking directly to them, but they will look back on this clip and know that I encourage them to have a good battle.
Yeah. So that we don't get food baited anymore.
Yeah. That was cruel and unusual.
That's you know, that nice lady, you know, Shannon, telling us about her food and stuff. The
thing is, like, I was like, and we even offered to
shield there.
Yeah, we even offered to say, let's do it after the match, and they were very insistent. And, but that's great. All right, let's get to the finals. Okay then 2 versus ValorAsh. Do we know where okay then 2 is based out of?
I'm not actually sure. He was able to go to DC, so he must be relatively close.
Oh, I think he actually is a Maryland local.
Oh,
right, he's a Maryland. Yan is saying yes, so
yeah,
you know.
So he is from the Maryland area.
Wow.
It's a pretty nice hotbed for PvP.
They have some pretty good players there. Yeah. Definitely really good. Do we have any players in the chat from the Maryland area?
Yeah, any shout out from the Maryland?
You know, give us a Maryland slogan or something to let us know.
They like the crab. They like the
Ooh,
Kingler
yeah.
cup.
They were. Someone was complaining that had better Kinglers than a player from Maryland. So
yeah, you got your Mudshot Kingler yet?
I have a Mudshot for Great and Ultra. So
very nice.
So
did you use the Mudshot or the bubble variant for the T-Tar?
Bubble.
The bubble.
Yeah.
It's better, right?
It's better. Yeah, it's a stab, and Mudshot's very good in PvE as well in terms of energy generation, but Bubble's a very balanced move.
Right. Yeah.
And similar to how Bubble is here, it's a pretty balanced move.
I'm not seeing any.
Okay, let's see.
Maryland.
Bronzong.
Ooh. Locked in against Altaria. Certainly favorable matchup for Bronzong. It's not the worst matchup for Altaria to be in, but if Altaria is your dedicated Lucario counter, this could be pretty dicey. And so we're seeing Mason not be a huge fan of this matchup leading in. So Dragon Breath doing a ton of resisted damage, but still it is a very effective move at what it does. It's able to charge up to that Sky Attack, but not before the Side Shot comes out from
this was an iffy matchup before Bronzong's new moveset, and with its new moveset,
it's even better. It comes out even faster. Although Heavy Slam was quite all right.
Yeah, quite all right, but Side Shock is just more energy and efficient.
That's true.
And cheaper, so it does secure this matchup
and
a
so
lot better.
Sky Attack is resisted here. It's going to be able to get to that Side Shock before the Sky Attack, as long as there's no overtapping rather. And so at this point, Altaria is out if it decides not to shield. And it looks like he'd rather just opt not to shield and be at equal shields.
And coming into Lucario, building up a little bit of energy. But man, the Lucario building up. This is a tough. Let's see how they played out.
Yeah.
Mason
Probably bring in the Altaria.
No, I think he'll play it. He'll play this out. He needs to win this particular matchup. The thing is that he didn't fall for the shield bait. is that this Lucario is at lower health. Normally, you can try to win this match.
Oh,
he tried to
wow. He
switch
tried
though.
to switch. He barely wasn't able to get to that switch in time. Sky
Let's-
Attack.
Do you think he's gonna Shadow Ball now?
This is a tough call. He's looks like he went for the power-up punch instead. Charged up to the Shadow Ball. Not shielding here would be kind of
Way
Risky.
like very gutsy.
very risky. But he does go
oh
for the
man,
Steelix
here comes the
switch.
Steelix. Here comes, oh, man.
And now he's up against
But,
the Lucario.
you know-
Uphill battle for Mason for sure.
Hugely uphill.
Because you gotta, if you don't shield his power-up punch, you're not gonna get to the Earthquake. And even if you do get to that Earthquake,
He's just gonna
oh wow,
no.
he is able to get to that Earthquake, but it is shielded.
How much health does this Lucario have in the back? But
Not a
there's still
lot.
the Altaria in the back, right? So, and it's like two counters away from a power-up punch.
No, not enough. Not enough. GG.
Well played. Okay then
Very
too.
well played. Yeah. That's Lucario against Lucario matchups. They go by faster than you can even say
Yeah,
power
yeah.
punch.
Yeah, yeah,
This
that
is
was,
so fast.
yeah. And you said it pretty quickly there.
Yeah,
so
I said it super quick, and
Yeah,
then boom, it's already
the match
done.
is done.
Yeah.
Match is done, right? It's just disappeared.
Yeah.
Right.
We get to laugh at our own jokes, but then the chat puts us on blast
Yeah,
for sure.
roast us.
They don't forgive anything. Our Ghost Stadium PvPers, very analytical crowd. They saw that coming. You know, this having a Lucario in the back will work if you have a lot of energy coming in, if you're boosted, etc. And not landing that bait, that first bait, right?
Yeah.
On the power punch against Altaria was not a great situation.
Well, the thing is, like, do you think Mason or ValorAsh at that point in time should have just kept power punching? Because I saw in Seattle a similar situation with Wild Susan Boyle, and he basically just triple power up punched the
yeah, you're
Altaria
able to
and
get
then,
to it.
and then fainted it down,
And the aggregate damage from counters.
and then shields down the Steelix. The Steelix can get to an Earthquake.
That's true. It's tough.
It's hey man, these matchups are like just so quick. It's hard to make appropriate decisions.
Ooh, he's leading Blaziken. Spicy. Oh, not a great. That's rough. So Mason did lock in with a Blaziken lead, and against an Altaria lead is going to be pretty rough.
Yeah, this
It's
is
definitely
gonna be
an uphill
rough.
battle.
I think Mason's going double fighter.
Yeah, I think he might have.
So like in this particular situation, let's see what he has in the back.
So Blaziken with whatever, really, it doesn't really matter, is going to have to switch over to Lapras. Lucario counter switches, and he goes for the Surf here. Surf is going to do a ton of damage, so Lucario definitely wants to be shielding that. He
Lucario
wants
was a
to
little bit
be-
slow on the switch.
Absolutely. He wants to be as much HP as possible so they can dish out a ton of damage with those counters, those boosted counters, right?
Yeah.
Power Up Punch does land on this Lapras. Mason doesn't want to be at a shield equality. He wants to be at a shield advantage there.
And then this Blaziken presumably is going to come back in, almost for sure. And if this... Okay,
And
then...
barely
Oh,
able to get
man,
that
that
power
is
punch.
huge. Because he's going to have to shield. I can't see a situation where he doesn't shield.
He doesn't shield. Oh,
He
did,
does.
He
He
did.
does.
It looked like for a second like he didn't shield there for, but you know,
Man,
with
what do you-
having Altaria there ready to go,
Yeah, you come in...
but also Bronzong is an excellent counter to this Blaziken.
Let's see, though. Let's see if...
Oh man, he was really hoping that he would waste the Sky Attack on the Steelix, but then Bronzong coming out.
This is like not a guaranteed win.
Yeah,
This
I
is-
would have maybe.
Oh,
saved
no shield. No
oh,
shield.
That's true.
That is huge.
This,
Oh,
this
that
Quake
is
gonna wreck
huge.
it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he didn't do the charge move.
Wow. He thought it was just a one-shot, I think, at that point. Yeah, so Sky Attack from Altaria, certainly doing a ton of damage. Steelix does go shielded. It has the favorable matchup
And
against
he has a-
Altaria, but it is at a shield disadvantage there.
I think if he would have landed the Psy Shock, okay, then to perhaps could have took this match still.
Right. Someone is saying it's Stone Edge. It is not Stone Edge. It's just a double fire
It's a double fire.
Blaziken. We're not seeing a Stone Edge today. Not today. Those are so rare. So anyway, Steelix matched up. Is he going to be able to get to that crunch? Sky Attack comes out faster.
The
and
thing is, like, this, oh man, this is a really tough situation.
it's going to be close.
And he missed a bubble there too.
Doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's going to be able to take out that.
This loot. Man, are we visual glitching? Oh no, there it is. The shield's way over there. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just that Altarius shielded this blast burn, and so, you know what? In that case, why not
One
just go
double
for
blaze-
two blaze kick?
Double blaze kick.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, okay then too. Still pulled it out.
He
like
did.
despite, I think ValorAsh had a chance to win if he double blaze kicked.
Maybe.
Because if you think about it, he's probably 2 counters away from the blaze kick. Difference between blaze kick and blast burn is about 2
And
counters.
he's had such low HP, right?
Yeah.
So that blaze kick definitely would have finished off the Altaria.
Yeah, so he had a chance. But okay then too. Man, taking it. Really dominant win against one of the top players in the world.
And this is another unique win.
Another unique win,
Yeah,
man. I
we
don't know what
always-
you guys are
we love to
doing.
see this.
Okay. I don't know what kind of agreement you guys had in the back to trade tournaments, but yeah, but this, it's not a coincidence that this happens. Like all these players are so great. But tell us about your win.
It was tough. I still feel like I didn't play optimally. It's really hard doing these many tournaments in a row to really keep count of everything in your head and all that good stuff. Definitely made some risky plays. I would say Bronzong was probably my MVP, which is funny because I didn't use it at all the first time around. But the Psyshock and Bulldoze additions really make a big difference. So yeah, I would say Bronzong was probably my MVP this go around.
For sure. I think personally we think that Bronzong is the best Pokemon in Kingdom.
I thought it was amazing in the first time around with the double Heavy Slam and Flash Cannon moveset because it had some really tech applications. And it was a very safe switch, but now with Psyshock and Bulldoze, it's hard not to pick it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, really the only things you truly have to worry about are Alolan Marowak and Steelix.
Right.
Otherwise, it's like you said,
And even then-
it's relatively safe. Yeah, and even then it can compete. It can
Land
it
that
can dent them.
Bulldoze.
Right.
Yeah.
Land those Bulldoze,
Yeah.
do a lot of damage.
Nothing gets it for free.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think that double Blaze Kick would have been a potential win there?
Yes.
Was that an error there?
Yeah, just like if I had Psyshocked instead right before
Yeah,
coming in.
yeah,
right.
I-
That was
I
another
didn't
thing.
realize I was going to get to it.
We all thought it had been a one-hit knockout, and then you were hanging on with a little bit of HP.
Yeah,
so
then we were saying
Yeah.
afterwards that if you land that Psyshock, then
In retrospect, going to Bronzong was probably a mistake because I could have confusion down the Blaziken.
Right.
So, but it's a give and take. But it also burned all of the Steelix's energy, so
Right.
it's hard to say.
Yeah. But also, Blaziken having Blast Burn there ready to go, and Blaze Kick. Before, in the first iteration of Kingdom, it wasn't
Yeah.
the case. That it didn't have, Overheat took way too much energy. So.
Yeah, it was basically just relying on Brave Bird. That was
Yeah.
its only charge
And-
move that you saw out
Yeah.
of Blaziken back in the day.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bravebird sucks.
Yeah,
Not gonna-
yeah. Blaze Kick and Blast Burn were a huge addition to its
Right.
move pool. I chose not to run it just because I thought that running Bronzong would give me a better advantage than the double fighting strategy. In retrospect, maybe I should have gone Steelix because I didn't use Bastiodon once. So maybe Steelix over Bastiodon if for some reason anybody has any Kingdom Cups still out there left to run.
The
Right.
final hours
Yeah.
of the meta. You never know.
Right.
You never know. How you feeling about the next cup?
We'll see. I didn't even really practice this cup compared to the others. I practiced other cups more, and I did worse than them, and than compared to this. So it's really hard to say.
What's your favorite cup?
Twilight, and I did poorly.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I like Jungle and I like Rainbow, so those are coming up. So those should be fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not how comfortable you're in cup; it's how comfortable you are compared to others.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
true.
and there's so much tough competition. It doesn't show it on the scoreboard, but a lot of these games are going to, or a lot of these matches are going to 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
But 4 games, it's crazy.
Yeah, with a tie there at the end. And one of
Yeah.
them.
I mean, I've had a couple ties today. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does this compare? This experience compared to your remote battles in Go Stadium?
It's different. Remote, you have more time to prepare because you're on different time zones or I have to go to work. I won't be back for 8 hours, all that sort of stuff. And you can kind of dwell and
You
think
have it
about
on the back of your mind.
Yeah,
there,
you can really like deeply analyze your opponent's teams. Whereas in this, it's like not that there's a rush, but it's like you got the show must go on.
It's different, certainly a different
Yeah.
intensity in terms of time.
Definitely, yeah. You can't quite do as much of a deep dive as every specific little matchup. Like this beats this in the 2 shield, but not in the 1 shield, and all that good stuff. Yeah.
And before you got into PvP, did you ever imagine you would be on this stage in front of these bright lights?
No, it's awesome. It's really cool. This is amazing what's going on here. I love it.
Great. Well,
Yeah.
best of luck.
Thank you.
Very well played. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good job. Okay.
So
All
bringing
right.
up the leaderboards.
Let's take a look at the Kingdom bracket and see how it played out.
Very nice. So obviously, okay then, bringing in the win against ValorAsh, and then Cody taking in second.
And Toshi
And
picking
then-
up another
Yeah.
4 points. So big wins for Toshi and Cody, because that basically puts them at a tie with Housestark. And then ValorAsh should still be in the lead by actually might be by 4 points now, because I think he picked up the same number of points and Housestark. Oh, 2 points. Okay, Toshi picked up way more points.
Toshi racking up those 2 wins was pretty big. And then obviously, okay, then needed that win to really stay in the
contention
in the
right?
game here. But
And we're only halfway through. Who's the 5th highest ranked player in this tournament? I'm already predicting I'm seeing a very high correlation.
that's what you're
Yeah.
saying? They all kind of
Actually, I
agree?
have no idea what okay then 2's ranking. Besides that, it's likely has 2 numbers in it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So
Maybe Bella's next in the ranking pecking order here.
yes, let us know. Okay, Nightmare. Tell me about Nightmare.
I mean, Gardevoir's game, for sure. Gardevoir getting that boost with Charm was huge, right? It just broke this meta pretty hard. Gardevoir, but before, having Medicham and Sableye blocked in this format, I don't think it even matters with Gardevoir.
No, it wouldn't matter
running
at
here.
all.
But a lot of people are going to be running some combination of Bronzong or Matang or Metagross to really shore up that matchup against Gardevoir.
But to be
Alolan
honest,
Muck does pretty well too.
Alolan Muck, Bite Drapion,
By Drapion.
does really well. So, though I think Gardevoir is certainly a very strong and
Yeah.
the meta-defining Pokemon, it's not as broken as I think people once envisioned it.
Right. Yeah. And it's definitely centralizing
Yeah.
to this meta.
But it might be closer to Lucario than it is to Vigoroth. In terms
I think
of
Vigoroth, you kind of had to bring it though, right?
Yeah, Vigoroth, you certainly had to bring it, and
In your 3.
and there's like less hard counters to Vigoroth, if any, besides Heracross
Yeah.
and Vespiquen. But Gardevoir certainly has some hard counters to it, but it can also steamroll entire teams.
That's true.
So that's why I mean it's closer to.
There's no team of 3 is going to have absence of Gardevoir counters.
Yes.
Right. So that's a safe thing to say.
Yeah. But if you eliminate the Gardevoir counter, the Gardevoir can certainly run through the entire team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Similar to what we've seen with Lucario not having any counters, can run through entire teams.
And so now we are ready for an official break.
Yep. I think we should bring the man of the hour.
Yeah. Let's bring Quartz on up here.
Quartz.
He's not wanting to say anything here.
Okay.
Where's his mic?
Why don't you take the break, and then I'll talk with Quartz.
Well, we'll both.
Because you need to go eat. That way, then we can switch it again.
He's got a mic. He's bringing a mic.
Then that way, I can eat after you interview someone else.
Yeah, sure. We can do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Let's go.
I know at some point they wanted to do maybe some battles, some kind of casual battles. But
Sure.
yeah,
we
I'll
do
talk
later.
with Quartz and you go eat.
Oh no, you go. You
The
go
thing
eat.
is, we're
Oh,
about to have
you
a
go.
break for you guys to go have
No,
something
no.
to eat, and we'll have
AJ, you
he's
go
got
eat.
some show.
He's kicking us both
You go
out.
eat.
I'm
Well, you
kicking
go.
both
You
out,
go
Jen.
eat 'cause you're hungry.
As a Canadian, I had to let you go first.
okay.
Well, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I'm so sorry. But after you,
No.
after you, sir.
No, go ahead. I'll talk with Quartz.
That's
Quartz and I have a lot to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
You look hungry too, bud.
You're kicking me out.
You're
Well,
kicking you out.
I can't.
We
I
can
can't
talk to you
say
later.
no to that delicious
Yeah.
food. So
Let me step out for you.
So, Quartz, the star of the show, the man behind all of this.
I don't think I'm exactly the star
So,
of the show here. but
okay.
Yes.
Walk us through the process to get here.
The process to get to this venue, I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of hard work in the background by the admins. We have a couple of us who we thought about bringing in the best of the best, and then you guys saw last weekend. You were amazing Shoutcaster for the Seattle event, which was a huge success. The Seattle Showdown brought some unknown names, not as known, but now maybe more famous, into the scene in the Seattle stream, and then we had the German stream. But basically, the idea was just to bring the best of the best together. We wanted to see, based on the Silph ranks, we're coming close, to the season, having a break, and reached out to the people who are interested. And of course, these top players, they want to be featured on an event like this for sure, right? And when you said that you wanted to come to this event to shoutcast for us, of course the players are going to sign up for sure, right? We've got 8 aces here today, all trying their best, and. It's gonna be a good show.
Tell us how you got in contact with.
So for this contact, we had a stream in Philadelphia in Tap Center a few weeks back, but then when we were thinking about trying to scale it up a little bigger, Honda reached out to the guys out here, out in Philadelphia. So Ministry Gaming and also Local Hosts, which is the venue today. These guys are pros. Like Normally, I'm in the background running the OPS. We've got real pros helping out today. A huge team in the background. See cameras moving around everywhere, lights and everything. So it's just great to see. It's making it one step closer to your vision.
Our vision
Our
of
vision.
and how much potential do you think Pokemon Go PvP can have?
Well, it really depends on the on how Niantic wants to, how far they want to push it. Because we're as players and as content creators, we try to push it as much as we can with the current game, but we want to see more depth. We want to see more features.
What would you like to see? You're for those that don't know, that you're a huge main series fan.
Huge main series
and
fan, yeah.
you run. We want to give a little shout out to your Unova.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure if people who've been following our Twitch, we've been doing a Unova stream, introducing people to Pokemon Go who hasn't been playing the main series games as much. We're on episode 3 now. I think we just beat the 3rd gym. So if you're interested to see what are good Pokemons in terms of coming into Pokemon Go and their stats and all that, we bring up our website. Our website GoStadium.club already have all the Gen 5 Pokemon stats already on there. So if you're interested to see what are the good Pokemons on the up and coming in terms of the
And for some of you might think like, oh, I never played the main series. Why would I watch someone play the main series? How quickly someone would be like, oh, what's that Pokemon? How does the stats compare to like Quagsire or Wishcash or Venusaur? You're able to just like type in the name and magic comes up.
Exactly. If you watch our stream, and you can go back and watch our VODs, we pull up comparison of a grass poison type, and we'll bring with a known quantity and try and compare with it. And if you talk about
exactly. And you have many people on the stream that can talk about potential movesets.
We've brought
how
on,
good are.
We've brought on Kakuna from PV Poke.
Yeah,
he's
amazing.
excited about it.
Yeah,
as
exactly
well.
right. And I think it's a really, for me, I haven't played that much main series, but it's a really fun watch and really educational. It really puts in the back of mind what are some things that I can necessarily anticipate for Gen 5.
Man, the moveset is going to be the big thing.
Huge.
We'll talk about the stats,
Huge,
and the potential.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Someone I had an interview yesterday actually, and they asked me like, what Gen 5 Pokemon are you most excited for?
So many, right?
And there's a lot of them, but
Sharna,
Superior.
Superior is actually slightly less bulky than Meganium, so I'm not sure. But the moveset is going to be.
But it might have some interesting moveset considerations. Especially if it gets access to Leaf Blade, that makes it a little bit more spammier than Meganium, and Leaf Blade's still a really great moveset.
Exactly.
And we don't know. New moves are still to come to the game,
Gen
right?
5 is coming really soon, you know. You know, in the middle of this month, right? We're going to start seeing the rollout of a couple of new Pokemons. So be on the lookout for more Universe streams. We're going to be taking on the 4th gym leader and bring on even more potentially good PvP Pokemons.
Yeah.
I've been brought on here not to only talk, but also to lead you to your lunch break, King.
Okay, yeah,
So-
as long as we have someone else.
No. So we're
come-
going to cut to a break, a 7-minute break, while we set up. We're going to have J Farm and Arrow come on to do some recommended battles.
Okay,
Yeah.
Arrow's amazing player.
Yes.
You should definitely check him out. He is probably the best undertapper that I've ever seen.
We might see some of that featured in these recommended battles
Okay.
coming up. So we're going to go cut ahead to a little intermission here. Appreciate you guys watching the stream.
But
See a
stay
lot of
tuned.
Duven hype, exactly. Duven hype. That's the character about Unova.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
But
cool.
yes.
All
All
right,
right, guys.
perfect. Well, thank you, guys.